Hello. um, so yeah, I have released a blitzkrieg of albums. Well, actually, really just EPs, not really albums. Well, I don't know. I don't think so. They're a bit too short. Anyway, this one that I was thinking of to explain a little bit about is called. Well, I'll start from the most recent, I guess. So there's Enfant Terrible, or Infant Terrible, which is the one. It's a piano kind of. It's a piano. I mean, I think that's more really on the borderline of almost an album. It's Rimbaud, or Arthur Rimbaud, or Arthur Rimbaud, is a French symbolist poet. I did actually one of my first actually albums of his poems. Actually, The Season in Hell, or Sojourn in Hell, it's called. You'll see it if you go to the playlists on this channel at the very beginning, actually. So it's there. And so this is kind of the follow-up for that. I mean, like 40 albums later, or whatever it is in this point. I was trying to count it the other day, like last night, in a drunken haze. And I was like, shit, man, I think I've done like 40 albums, which is just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like that's the case, so I don't think that's correct. But anyway, it's a lot. And I think, wow, what am I doing? I don't even know. I've got this lovely, I've made it myself out of clove oil, but I keep getting clove bud, clove oil. But I keep getting it on my fingers. It's like to destroy the mold in my house. Anyway, I just saw it and I thought, I felt like a compulsion to spray whenever I see it. Kind of like insecticide, but fungal, yes. I think, I don't know, is mold a fungus? I know it's a spore, but I don't know if it's a fungus. Anyway, more about music, less about fungus. Yeah, so anyway, and so that is sort of, it's a sojourn in, it continues from a sojourn in hell, season in hell. And, yeah, I just did it really fast. I took a photo of myself walking in the shadow the other day when we had like the one sort of bright day in a while for the winter that we've had here. And, because I took my shadow on the concrete in front of me. And because I want to work on this other album where I was taking photos of mimosa, or silver wattle, we call it, but in most of the world it's called mimosa. It has a very particular sweet, almost sickly sweet, kind of powdery smell. It's bizarre. Anyway, and so, yeah, I was sort of doing that, and just happenstance that there was the sun behind me. So I took a photo, la la la. Long story short, I made that the cover of Enfant Terrible, and yeah, I kind of I wanted very much to try to keep going with that. Those ideas. I really like Rimbaud, and I like obviously Baudelaire. I like Verlaine, so these three are kind of all of that milieu. Actually, I think Baudelaire is a bit before, but anyway. And so yeah, and so it was sort of like that I created this. I just sort of translated them, and then adapted them into just some basic piano, as you can hear. So that's what's that about, Enfant Terrible. And then the other one was, oh my gosh, I've forgotten. Doing too many, baby, shit. Oh, damn. I know, I just sort of started to finish, or I just finished, Femme in a Leather Jacket. I'm going to sit down for this one. Yes. We'll see how long this lasts. But anyway, yeah, and so this other one is called, Femme in a Leather Jacket, which of course has yours truly as the Femme in the Leather Jacket. See, I'm the same person, see? In black and white or in blue. It's like bruising. Anyway, yeah. So that's sort of more just a random collection of songs I did, where I wanted to kind of explore sexuality and things like this, and you know, this idea of BDSM, not really BDSM. I want to explore that in something else, but this is just an experiment. This femme in a leather jacket. I guess it's really an EP. It's not really an album because it's not long enough. Anyway, the title was inspired by actually one of my sort of exes, I guess you could say, and they used to wear this leather jacket all the time. And also, I that's not their leather jacket. That's actually in the photos for the EP. That's actually my brother's when he used to be a motorcyclist in, I think, Vietnam or something. I can't remember. Anyway, so I've got it just for whatever reason. And oh, there's red glitter everywhere, all around me. Anyway, and so yeah, that's it's more about really Collingwood actually, which is like the gay district in Melbourne, or as one of them. There's a few, and it's the one that I frequent the most, I suppose, because it's very close to me. I can literally walk there within about 40 minutes. And so Smith Street is the main sort of thoroughfare, and then Peel Street as well. And there's a rainbow crossing, so that hence like 3 a.m. at the rainbow crossing is the song. It's just they're all kind of ditties. I didn't really write them. I just ad-libbed them. And also there's a punk band, a queercore punk band called Pansy Division, who have a song called a Femme in a Black Leather Jacket, I believe. And I really I quite like that title. The song is like, most of their songs are kind of by the by for me. They're very sort of punk, and I mean they're sort of like mine in a way. They're just more rock and roll. But yeah, you know, I like that sort of vibe, and I like the sort of the juxtaposition of like that really broad-shouldered machismo look, you know, and then you're kind of like, oh, you're kind of femme. I kind of like that a lot actually. I think it's kind of cool, you know. It's kind of like that having a penis is no threat to my femininity kind of thing, and I quite like that. So yeah, so that's what that sort of is in a way about, and it's also just trying to make sense of that way of being, like effeminate in a way, like effeminate, yeah, sure, but also at the same time you're still trying to explore your masculinity or my masculinity and what that means, and in exploring that become more comfortable and secure in it, and less passive aggressive, less, you know, projective of your own insecurities, all that sort of stuff. Hence why I did it without any clothes on, right, except for the jacket and my underwear. I don't know if that's YouTube friendly, but I tried to make sure that it was all like not for children, so obviously. But yeah, and so it was sort of like that too. I guess it's an experiment of like my own exhibitionism, which I'm actually a rather shy individual, believe it or not. Here I am doing YouTube. Anyway, it's like that. And you gotta, like, you know, I just realized this year I gotta force myself. No one else is gonna come and talk to me. No one else is gonna make the first move, right? That's one of those life lessons. You know, no one else is gonna make the first move. It has to be you, baby. Otherwise, you know, you just end up in the same quagmire. You're doing the same shit. And so something like that. Anyway, but yeah. And then, oh yeah, then the other one, the other EP. Actually, I kind of like this EP. It's kind of chill. It's kind of in a way what I wanted to explore, this idea in my head of. I was reading about this thing called autistic writing, and I was really interested in this idea of autistic music, and so yeah, it's definitely something which is on my mind. And so this next one, I'm just gonna move this again 1 second. Sorry. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, so the other one is called Aaron My Adam. And so Aaron is a man. He's a man. He's not a big he's not a big strong man, he's just like, you know, whatever. Just a dude. From Los Angeles. I'm from Los Angeles, you know, like from LA. Anyway, and so it's funny because as an aside, but I'm doing this cover of I think I talked about it last time, but anyway, Jane Birkin's Babylon and Babylon, and that's actually all about pretty much. I mean, it's all about Los Angeles. Actually, it's all about Hollywood, Los Angeles. As I translate it, it's really funny. It's really interesting. Like, you know, again, one of like Gainsbourg's pieces of genius. But like, yeah, like black humor, like the way he unpacks it. The same, radically different to what he does in Rock Around the Bunker, but this kind of idea of exploring what it means to, you know, like what that meant, Hollywood in the golden age, I guess. And Marilyn Monroe is of course like a trope of that, right? She's sort of the catalyst for a lot of these ideas as well, which she has become. Anyway, back to Aaron my Adam. So I guess it's a biblical reference in a way. It's also in a way sort of Abrahamic, but because he is, I believe he's of Jewish background. But that doesn't. That's by the by. Anyway, so for me, it was more that I met him years ago, actually, before the pandemic, and we were together, not together, but we were just whatever. I don't even know. We met at this place called Kent Street, which I will probably make an album about, so keep that up. Your ears and your eyes peeled for that one. I don't know when, but you know, it would be called like Rock Around Kent Street or something. I'm not sure. But yeah. Anyway, and there's sort of a series of like love songs, shit. You know, it's kind of like shit, man. Like you kissed me and I was sick for many months, which is true. I mean, I'm making a very cheeky correlation there between that. But I mean, I don't know. Then he kissed me again, like maybe in June when I saw him out of the blue after like 2 years, and then I was sick for like a month. So I'm like, maybe, peut-être. Yeah, I don't know. Shit, it's like, but yeah, what else? Oh yeah. So so that's kind of looking into, I don't know, artistic love, and I was using this on a play as artistic, like that. And yeah, I don't know. It's really just a series of quite simple love songs. I mean, it's very short. It's not an album. It's an EP. It's because it's under 20 minutes. I mean, easy. It's like maybe 10 minutes. So yeah, so that's kind of what that's about. It's just a lost love of mine, I guess. And I realize that he's just not interested in me, and I'm trying to, like, even now, and I'm trying to get back in touch and la la la, but it's not really. It's quite. He's just not interested, and he never was. So because like that's fine, but it's kind of like shit. Damn, I wish I was more switched on, baby. But then making this, now I'm more switched on. So it's now like, no, take more attention to your to other people, what they're subliminally or what they're saying to you by not saying anything, indirectly. And I think that's yeah, learning as you get older. So yeah, and I don't know. So that's sort of Adam my Aaron, Aaron my Adam. What? And then I'm also starting to, and then feminine leather jacket, and thyroid fever. That's what it was. That was the other one. So yeah, thyroid fever is because I have a hypothyroidism. It's not super bad. It was super bad. And then I was like, no salt, nothing fun. I can't have salt in my food. So I did that for a long time, and I started to eat salt again, like super recently, maybe in the last month, maybe. No, few weeks actually. Anyway, so that's about hypothyroidism, and that's sort of just a very very short little EP. It's 6 songs, so yeah, I guess that's an EP. It's under 20 minutes, I believe. So that's really about that, and it's about what it feels like when your eyes feel like they're kind of bulging. I mean, my eyes are like not that big, you see. It's just that these make them look big. But when you have when it's quite intense, it's sort of, they almost like bulge, like they kind of come out almost. It's bizarre, and it feels really like you're being like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like there are rocks in your eyes. I think rocks in your face. I think I say this in a line actually in one of the songs. But yeah, and the pain in your body. You're always tired. You're always fatigued. So and you feel weak. So tired and weak was a song I made. Just whatever. Thyroid fever is like when you get into this really insane sort of like, it feels like electricity is like pulsing through your bloodstream. So yeah, like all these things I reference in the songs. So there's that, and it's a little drawing of me, a painting of me that I did, and it's actually the pills on the side of the album cover. They're actually pills, the real pills that you take in order to produce the hormone, the THC, I think it's called, thyroid stimulating hormone. So it's no, it's TSH. Sorry, yeah. And so yeah, I was taking that, but then I refused also not. I refused to take it after a while, like maybe not long at all. Like I tried it for about a week, which is stupid. But anyway, to stop after such a small time. But I was like, no, it's the same as Zoloft, which is like an antidepressant. When I was much younger, when I was maybe 19. So yeah, wow, almost more than a decade ago. Shit, fuck, I'm old. Um, yeah, so that was I didn't take to that either, and I refused. And so I prefer meditation over medication in that regard. And in terms of the thyroid, it's actually similar. There's a direct correlation, it seems, between hormonal like deregulation and the sort of psychosomatic. And so yeah, I think a lot of it happened because of my grief, actually, as to why my hormone started to go haywire. But anyway, so that's part of what I wanted to explore with that, and how I still live with it, as a chronic condition, but I don't feel like it destroys my life. I mean, I'm also pre-diabetic, and I'm also I have high cholesterol, and yeah, I've got many things. Shit. I've got no iron in my blood. Well, I'm getting iron now because I'm taking little iron supplements. They're like this deep crimson red color, and they are. So yeah, so that's sort of what that's about, and yeah, I think that's sort of up to date really. But I guess the last thing is just simply where I'm going now. So yeah, where I'm going with the music is I'm gonna try and finish the Sufi of Bihar, because I really want to do another album on this idea of this person, and so it would be called Black Rose. But I need to do this one first, just to experiment and figure out. It's kind of like I'm trying to interpret, like reimagine Sufi music. I think I've spoken about this quite a lot now, so I have to just do it. That's what I felt like. If I talk about it, then I will do it. If I don't talk about it on this channel, then I won't do it. So it's sort of like that. Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at, and I hope that that's gonna be good. And I'm not sure how much time I have left on this psych thing, so I'm just conscious if it just cuts. That's why. I ran out of room on my phone. Living the dream. Living the Dolitarian existence, baby. Yeah, anyway, so that's coming up. That's going to be very, the Sufi of Bihar is my drawing, and that's going to be really beautiful, I think. I hope so. And I want to see if I can get some chanting happening. Otherwise, I'm trying to make it a very haunting album. And I just uploaded a song now called Kama Sutra, which is a reworking of Le Douce Chic by, you guessed it, Jane Birkin. And so yeah, you should definitely check out Le Douce Chic, which is from Babylon and Babylon, which I referenced before. So I will actually do a cover of this anyway, of the original song, but in English, obviously. There's no point in doing a cover of Le Douce Chic in French, because, I mean, why? I mean, maybe one day, but I'm not right now. And so yeah, so anyway, that's called Kama Sutra, this song that I just uploaded, actually. And that's going to be on the Sufi of Bihar EP, LP, not EP. It's going to be longer than 3 minutes. I hope. Yeah, otherwise the other little EP I did was just like a few days ago. I want to say weeks, but it's not weeks. It's like days. It feels like weeks, but it's only a few days. Because I'm just like, I'm pounding it out, baby. You know me? I don't know why I got... Like, it's like an exploding fountain. I just got all these ideas and energy. So I'm like, if I got that energy now, I don't know when the fuck I will have it again. So I'm going for it. I'm just going. And I think I'm losing subscribers, but I mean, I don't care. I'm not really doing it for subscribers. Hey, like, I'm not on here to do all that shit. So yeah, it's just for me really at the end of the day, and anyone who wants to tag along for the trip. But it's, yeah. So, but I find it funny. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm just like going. I'm going. It's like a conveyor belt of creativity. Baby. But yeah. Anyway, that's kind of dealio, and thanks for having a look at this, peopleoids, and keep listening to my music and make your own music. Fuck the cultural industry. Make your own music. Make your own everything if you can. Not everything. I mean, that's a little bit ludicrous, but make all your creative stuff if you can. Like, reimagine the album that your like favorite musician would make if they didn't pass away, or maybe less morose, like that they've yet to make. You know what I mean? Like their next one that you're waiting for 2 years or 3 years for them to make their next album. Why don't you just make it? You know what I mean? Like just reimagine it. Like imagine what it would be or could be, and or whatever. I mean, art or a book. Like What would be, like, I don't know, Jane Austen's, like, 8th novel or something? I don't know. Write that novel. Or, you know, yeah, do it. Just be creative. You know, why not? What have you got to lose? Nothing really at all. And you got a lot to gain.